Random House Audiobooks presents How to Talk to Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere. The Secrets of Good Communication by Larry King with Bill Gilbert. Read for you by Larry King.
How to talk to anyone, anytime, anywhere. The secrets of good conversation. Talking's like playing golf, driving a car, or owning a store. The more you do it, the better you get at it, the more fun you have doing it. But first you have to understand the fundamentals. I've been fortunate to have achieved a certain level of success in talking, maybe enough so that as you're listening to this tape, you're thinking to yourself, sure, he can say talking is fun. He's good at it. Well, it's true that talking has come naturally to me, but even those who have a natural ability for something have to work to develop it. That's what turns a talent into a skill. Ted Williams, the best baseball hitter I ever saw, and a man blessed with more natural ability than anyone in my lifetime, took batting practice every day like everybody else. Luciano Pavarotti was born with a wonderful voice, but he still took singing lessons. I have a natural ability, an inclination to talk, but I've had plenty of moments when talk didn't come easy. If you could have been a fly on the wall in a Miami Beach radio studio 37 years ago and witnessed my first morning in broadcasting, you'd have bet the ranch that it was the last morning in broadcasting. It happened at station WAHR, a small radio station across the street from a police station on 1st Street, just off Washington Boulevard, on the morning of May 1st, 1957. I'd been there 3 weeks hanging around, hoping to crash into my dream world of radio. The station's general manager, Marshall Simmons, told me he liked my voice, another thing I can't take any credit for, but he didn't have any openings. That didn't discourage me. I was willing to take my chances, and I told him so. He said, fine, if I hung around, I'd get the job the next time he had an opening. I went to the station every day. I watched the disc jockeys on the air, the newscasters reporting the news, the sportscasters giving sports results. I watched in silent fascination for the first time as I saw stories come over AP and UPI wires. I wrote a few little stories myself, hoping somebody would use them on the air. Suddenly, after 3 weeks, the morning disc jockey quit. Marshall called me into his general manager's office on a Friday and told me that I had the job starting at 9 o'clock Monday morning. I'd make $55 a week. I'd be on from 9 until noon Monday through Friday. In the afternoon, I would do newscasts and sportscasts until getting off at 5. My dream had come true. Not only was I getting on the radio, I was going to be on for 3 hours at a time every morning, plus another half dozen times or so every afternoon. I was going to be on the air as often as Arthur Godfrey, superstar at CBS. I didn't sleep the whole weekend. I kept rehearsing things to say on the air. By 8:30 of that first morning, I was a basket case. I was drinking coffee and water for the dryness in my mouth and throat. I had the record with my theme song, Les Elgart, swinging down the lane with me, ready to cue it up on the turntable as soon as I went into the studio. In the meantime, I was getting more nervous by the minute. Then Marshall Simmons called me into his office to wish me good luck. After I thanked him, he asked me, "What name you going to use?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "Well, you can't use Larry Zyga. It's ethnic. People won't be able to spell it or remember it. You need a better name. You are not going to use Larry Zyga." He had the Miami Herald open on his desk, and there was a full-page ad for King's Wholesale Liquors. Marshall looked down and said simply, "How about Larry King?" "Okay, fine. That's your name, Larry King. You will host the Larry King Show." So there I was, a new job, a new show, a new theme song, a new name. The news came on at 9. I sat in the studio with Swinging Down the Lane queued up, ready to broadcast the Larry King Show to a waiting world. My mouth felt like cotton. As my own engineer, which is always the case at a small station, I started the theme. The music came on. Then I faded the music down so I could talk. Only nothing came out. So I bring the music back up again and fade it again. Still no words come out of my mouth. It happens a third time. The only thing my listeners are hearing is a record going up and down in volume, unaccompanied by any human voice. I can still remember saying to myself that I'd been wrong, that I was a street gabber, but I wasn't ready to do this professionally. I knew I'd love this line of work, but clearly I wasn't ready for it. I didn't have the guts to do it. Finally, Marshall Simmons, the man who'd been so kind in giving me such a tremendous opportunity, exploded as only general managers can explode. He kicked open the door to the control room with his foot and said 5 words to me, loud and clear. "This is a communications business." Then he turned and left, slamming the door behind him. In that instance, I leaned forward toward the microphone and said the first words I ever spoke as a broadcaster. "Good morning. This is my first day ever on the radio. I've always wanted to be on the air. I've been practicing all weekend. 15 minutes ago, they gave me a new name. I've had my theme song ready to play, but my mouth is dry and I'm nervous." And the general manager just kicked open the door and said, "This is a communications business." Being able to say at least something gave me the confidence to go on, and the rest of the show went fine. That was the beginning of my career in talking. I was never nervous on the radio again. I learned something about talking that morning in Miami Beach, whether you're on the air or off. Be honest. You can never go wrong in broadcasting or in any area of speech. Arthur Godfrey told me the same thing about how to be a successful broadcaster. Let your listeners and viewers share your experiences and how you feel. I think one reason I've had a certain amount of success in broadcasting is that the audience can see that I love what I'm doing. You can't fake that. If you try, you will fail. If you really do love what you're doing and project that enthusiasm to the people you're talking to, your chances for success become greater. President Clinton's a prime example of this. Just before we taped an interview in the White House for my nightly CNN show, on the anniversary of his first year in office, the president told me, "The best day of my life is being president on a good day. And the second best day of my life is being president on a bad day." Bill Clinton's a good talker and a wonderful guest because he has great enthusiasm for his job and he communicates it in his talk. That enthusiasm and his willingness to share it has obviously made him not just successful as a talker, but rather successful in his chosen career. The right attitude, the will to talk even when it might not be comfortable at first, is another basic ingredient for becoming a better talker. When I managed to survive that case of mic fright, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to do 2 things. 1, I was going to keep right on talking. 2, I was going to improve my ability to talk by working at it hard. What did I do? Everything. I hosted the morning show, I did the weather, I filled in the afternoon sports reports, the business reports, I anchored the news, I gave speeches. If somebody called in sick or wanted a day off, I worked a double shift. Getting better at talking is the same as getting better at anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So I grabbed every opportunity I could to do as much talking on the air as possible. My objective was to be on the air and to be a success at it. In addition to consulting books and now videos on how to talk, there's a lot you can do yourself. You can talk out loud to yourself around your house or apartment. I do. Not often, I hasten to add, but sometimes. I live alone, so from time to time, I'll say a few words off the cuff or try out something I might want to say later in a speech or on one of my shows. There's no reason for me to feel embarrassed about it because there's nobody else around anyhow. You can do the same thing, even if you don't live alone. Go into a room by yourself or into a basement. Just wait until the others have gone to the store or out for the night, and then practice talking better. You can stand in front of a mirror and talk to the image. This is a common technique, especially for people trying to improve their ability as public speakers. But it works for everyday conversation, too. And it helps you to train yourself to use good eye-to-eye contact because you're looking automatically at the image across from you, your reflection in the mirror. Besides the willingness to work on it, you need at least 2 other ingredients to be a good conversationalist: a sincere interest in the other person and an openness to them about yourself, like the kind I tried to convey on that first paralyzing Miami Beach morning. I think it's apparent to viewers of my nightly talk show on CNN that I'm interested in my guests. I am sure to look them right in the eye, make sure of doing it, and then I lean forward in my chair and I ask them a question, always about their interest.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?